I listened to the press conference by the minister yesterday, and I would have thought that Madame Ursula Owusu would have gone to her 18-year-old son for some wisdom on policy implementation, because by this time, the son is 24 years. In 2016, he was 18. 6 years down the line, I think he's 24 years. Because she told us that if all you need to be in government is what the NDC was doing, her 18-year-old son would have done a better job. But yesterday, listening to her, I think she should get over herself, come down to the level of every Ghanaian, and know that when you are in leadership, it's for service. It's not a place for you to exercise some form of self-aggrandizement. It's not a place for you to believe that what you say is final. And sometimes I like her personally. I like strong women, so I like her personally. But I think she should get over herself. Because for her to say that she reluctantly agreed to extend the deadline, who is she? She doesn't have any capacity, howsoever described, to cut off anybody's SIM card. You know, sometimes certain things we all allow for administrative purposes. But what law is backing what she's doing? What regulation gives her that power to do and implement what she's doing in the manner she's doing it? She should calm down. She should take coffee. She should chill. And because you see, yesterday, and Loratu attempted to talk about girls in ICT, the achievement of the NDC government in the area of the Ministry of Communication, and for that matter, communication, they haven't even done 10%. And so she should, in fact, even the headquarters where they sit, the NCA sits to give these directives, they should come down and know that somebody through a vision put up that headquarters. This SIM card registration to wherever they want to take us.
You see where your problem is.
They should come down.
I hope you get me now.
I get you.
Okay.
I get you now.
You have to solve NDC problem.
But let me say
no, I'm
that.
here to
Let me say that yesterday,
their issues.
She herself, in her presentation, acknowledged that data from the NIA showed 832,000 people do not have their cards, even though they have registered. This is no fault of theirs. Yes. So if you give a deadline of September, and she, in the most arrogant manner, told us that she's not responsible and she's not NIA, and so all questions should be directed to NIA. So she cannot tell that by the end of September, the NIA would have issued the 832,000 cards. Then why the deadline to September 30th? Is it because it will make her feel good? You know, when it comes to policy formulation, implementation, and policy synergy, policy makers must take their time and listen to a feedback, because I am for the SIM card re-registration. I believe that the SIM card re-registration should be done if we have identified an issue of fraud with the SIM card registration. And so there is a need for us to sanitize the data. But the kind of mood that Madame Ursula Owusu and this government is exploring will affect data credibility. Because of the manner in which they are doing it. People are registering the SIM card with the Ghana card of other people. The people who don't have the Ghana card. So the point really is that if you look at what they are doing, it is obvious that they have no solution. Madame Ursula Owusu also said that amputees have challenges registering, and based on some of these considerations, she was going to extend. I want to find out, by September, would the amputees have developed hands? After 30th September, the amputees would have developed hands. The challenges she herself outlined are not challenges which would have been solved by 30th September. So why the rush? Why the rush? Why? It is just a matter of procurement politics between the Ministry of Communication, the NCA, and the NIA. Purely procurement politics.
But they're also trying to solve a problem, as Loretta mentioned.
Which problem?
The last minute attempts. When you give a timeline, people wait until like 1 month to the deadline.
Let me show
then
you.
they start rushing and trooping. When you do that, you put pressure on the system. What it is.
Every policy of this government has been calculated to pickpocket Ghanaians. And I can give you a plethora of examples. You know, when you register your SIM card, the NIA doesn't take your live biometric. You've registered your SIM card. They have something, you put your fingers down, and then they snap pictures. So it's not even a live biometric. In a release dated 21st September 2021, the NIA told us that the mode of registration by the NCA currently, which does not capture the live biometric of citizens, they have no way to authenticate that biometric data. So what is the essence of linking your Ghana card to the SIM card registration? If the primary source, which is the NIA, says that the manner in which you, the NCA, you are capturing the biometric data, we cannot verify the authenticity or the validity of it. We are back to the same thing. What mischief was cured? I have the release here. I can send it to you. The NIA said they cannot guarantee the credibility of the data that the telcos are taking. So why? What is the rush? What is the rush about it, if not for procurement purpose? Somebody has to convince me that some mischief will be cured. Because you see, I have my Ghana card, and if you look at the forms that you fill for the Ghana card, your telephone numbers are taken, your passport number, your SNIT number, your driver's license are all taken. Why can't you just use this data, take it directly from the NIA? And that is what Professor Atefa himself has been advocating, that you take it directly and verify it with the telcos. Why do we have to go through the queue? And for me, the weakest link in an already weak argument about this SIM card registration was when we are told that there is an app which will be launched. So all this while, the minister knew that it was possible for registration to be done via an app, but she chose to reluctantly, in a way she reluctantly likes to give or extend deadlines. She reluctantly waited, and then when the deadline she herself gave was over, she now told us that this week she would, out of magnanimity, for want of a better expression, now bring us some app for us to register and pay 5 cedis. Why do members of the NPP have such entitled mentality? They have some mentality of entitlement. I have heard a minister say that, yeah, GMI. And so perhaps she has this perception that Ghana belongs to her, or some way, somehow, they own Ghana. Why would you want to subject citizens to so much frustration? During COVID, this government wanted voter...
I mean, to be fair to her, that statement, I'm told, was said in a context.
I watched her.
In a particular context.
I watched her live. What particular context? I watched her. It's not hearsay. I watched her. It's no context.
Yeah, but unless she comes back to explain that it was said in a particular context, she's being taken out of
context. That's post facto rationalization. I won't take that. I watched her personally. So let me make my point. Why would this government say that in COVID, we want a new voter's ID card? We queued for weeks, productive hours being wasted for the voter's ID card. You said Ghana card, which could have been a continuous process, which